is my Legally Blind Journal number 43, believe it or not. And so I tested my vision again this morning, and so far no change discernible, that is. So happy with that. Went on a vacation and went to a hiking trail with the family and managed it. Twisted my ankle probably, I don't know, 3-4 times on the way up and the way down. But wasn't impossible, let's put it that way. Was the juice worth the squeeze, as they say? I don't know. That's debatable. It was definitely a lot harder. It's the first hiking trail I've been on since losing my sight, or to the point that it is now, and it was definitely more challenging. I'll put it that way. The cane did a great job. Biggest things were the undetected, items, and that's where, roll my ankle and whatnot. And most of that was minor, like I said, other than a couple of times it hurt. But it was good to be able to go up and spend that time with the family and whatnot. The house that we had rented, didn't realize at the time, had was right on the river, which was awesome. It sounded beautiful. What I could see of it was really nice. But what we didn't realize when we rented it was the number of stairs. And let me tell you, that place had some stairs of death in it, especially for the visually impaired. But even others with us, two of the young men with us, slipped and fell on the stairs. So, and they can see, so you can imagine that was interesting. But note to self, next time we do a big family vacation, pay a lot more attention to the visual impairment details. Let's try and get something where I don't have to navigate stairs. That would be probably a smart choice to think about. These things you don't think about when you're fully sighted. It's not an issue. And this is the first vacation that I've really taken since becoming visually impaired, and so I didn't think about it either. And it's been added to the list of things to look at and be a determining factor. Not that you can't do it; it just is a matter of risk to reward. Because if you got to go walk the dogs in the morning on a leash, and you're trying to navigate the stairs, now you're not doing it with a cane because you got to have a hand to be able to grab the railing if you start to fall or whatever. So you're taking additional risk with every step. And the probably the biggest one that I've got to remind myself, and this is got to be a challenge. I would think for all the everybody that is losing their sight, is that you can't do things the way you used to do them. Doesn't mean you can't do them, but not the way you used to do them. So what I mean by that is I grabbed 2 dog kennels. I should have grabbed 1. I grabbed 2, and I had my elbow out on the steering, on the rail, which means I didn't have my cane. I was feeling for the stairs, and man, I'll tell you, I was literally on the back heel, about 1.5 inches on my back heel. If it was 1.5 inches forward, I would have missed the first stair, and with 2 dog kennels in my hands, no way to catch myself, and it was a long way down. That could have ended very, very badly, and so I've got to remember, I got to do it different. I should have had 1 dog kennel in my hand, so that I could have one hand free, using the cane to navigate down the stairs, or holding on to the railing while feeling with my foot, a lot more precisely than what I was. I've got to slow down. But beyond that, it was definitely a good trip. Glad to be with the family. Good learning. A lot of things that I've got in the back of my mind now. I need to contemplate on when we plan things out. Things I need to do differently while I'm in the different environment to keep myself safe. But it was also enlightening. Well, enlightening maybe is the wrong word. It was reaffirming because I didn't get the migraines while we were there. I got one on the way, but that was my own stupid fault. I was looking around. I mean, we're driving through the mountains, and I was looking around and trying to focus too much, and that strain triggered one. But yeah, after that first one, I got none for the entire trip. And on the way back, I just mainly sat there with my eyes closed on the way back. So I didn't have one either. And so it just really reaffirms that what's triggering my migraines, and everybody's probably different out there, but for me, it's me trying to force things into focus, trying to read, basically, is my big nemesis on this. And trying to concentrate through things that are heavy lifting. That's my challenge. So, I'm out out on the farm in the weekend and building a fence and putting in a bunch of posts, wooden posts, and concreting, and I am not going to say it's straight and perfect, but we're going for the natural look or the visually impaired look, however you want to word that. Look, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're being too serious. So the fence isn't perfectly straight. It doesn't have to be. It'll be functional and operational. But, I will say that it's not popping the headaches when I'm doing that part. Now, when I was doing the layout and painting for all the holes had to be dug and everything, and trying to read the tape measure, I actually popped pretty good headaches from that. So I, again, got to do it different. I took a plastic chain and cut it into certain measurements. So I've got a plastic chain cut 55 inches, so that I can hang it from the top of the post and wiggle it around. And if it, is touching the dirt, or if it's above it, basically too high, too low, or on par, you can feel it and you can see some of that. And it's a bright yellow chain, so, got a little bit going there. And so I don't have to use a tape measure and look at numbers. And that helped diminish from that part of it. And then for spacing wise, for the poles that are 8 feet apart, again, same principle. I was like, well, dodo bird, if reading the tape measure is hurting, stop. So just finding new ways to do old things. Took a chunk of plastic chain, measured it out to 8 feet, cut it. And so I drag it along. And, that's when it's in the middle of the one pole, the other end is at 8 feet. And so that's how I started doing the measurements, and it knocked back the headaches, from that part. So that's really my main thing. I got to be mindful that trying to read, bring things into focus, basically, that creates a strain, and that strain is, I've got limits. I've got time limits before that strain pushes me over the edge into a full-blown migraine. So I'm trying the method of essentially put your foot on the gas until you get close to that speed, close to that breaking point, but not too close. Take your foot off the gas. Take that break. Put the foot back on the gas when the car's slowing down. Bring it up to speed. Get real close to being at the point of no return, then pull the foot off the gas. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that methodology and being much more meticulous about it will help. And I did get a little, essentially it's like a egg timer, kitchen timer, or whatever, because I am really bad about getting lost in the world and whatnot. And so, and just working, and then all of a sudden I'm imploding. Even I've got timers all over my phones. I snooze them, dismiss them, whatever, because I'm like, I need a couple more minutes. And then, it's 30 minutes later and my head's exploding. So I got this little one that has a big color. So while it's hard to read the numbers, the color wheel, as it counts down, goes away. So that part's cool. And when it's done, it has an auditory beep and I think the little light flashes or something. So my plan is to set the sucker in the seat of my chair, my work chair, and put it out to amount of time, and then have it sitting on the desk. And when it goes off, force myself, to take that break. And if I can't at that very moment, because whatever meetings or whatever, then go ahead and add the time onto here. Okay, well, I need another 10 minutes to wrap this up or whatever. So I don't get lost in the world and just running through the work and then run myself off the ledge. And then when this thing goes off, all right, that's got to be it, and then wash, rinse, and repeat. And then basically every time I go to take a break, stand up, set that in the physical seat. So you got to sit on it if you, when you go to sit down, as a physical forced reminder to set the timer, and try and force myself to abide by the timer, because the phone alarms, they're just too easy to hit the button, they go away, and then, still focused, still thinking about something, and just can't let it go. Hopefully this physical thing will make a difference. So we'll see. I'm going to try that and hopefully talk about it in the next video, and hopefully that's, been successful in helping to manage down the migraines, because not having them for about a week was nice while I was on vacation. So hopefully we can get them under control in my normal daily living. So I think that's about it for now. Looking forward to getting some of this work done out on the farm, and adding some chickens and goats. So be interesting, and be a good zen for me. I've had them before, and it'll also help me in the respects that you ain't got to read a goat, you ain't got to read a chicken, so shouldn't be too big of a migraine pusher. But any rate, I guess till next time, be good. Peace.